So today I want to show you a quick video of how to do a CAD drawing. It's a very simple process. I'm going to take you to where you have downloaded the CAD file onto your desktop, whether it's a laptop or whether it's a desktop computer. So I'm going to double click on that and it's going to give you that folder there, which is the CAD 3.5 student version. I'm going to double click on that. It's going to give you all the documents and folders and files that's inside that. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to that specific icon there, which is the file name TIT capital letters dash let.drg, and you're going to double click on it and it's going to give you this screen over here, and you are simply going to enlarge that screen over there. So you're going to find on your screen that you have a border, and that is basically a representation of an A4 page with the border and the title bar at the bottom. So we are going to write some information in here once we have completed the drawings, and the drawing will be in the center of the page, and once you print it, this border is going to print with the drawing as well. So in this top space you will see a yellow section here, and that's where the prompts are, and you have to read the prompts and you will have to execute using the various icons, which I will show you very quickly how to operate the CAD software program. Now just before you start with this program, you will click in the center and you will have to say no, and once you say no by clicking on the cross, you will see this blue lines appearing on your screen, on your page. All you have to do is to delete, and you will be back here where you started. So I hope that you have your drawing in front of you, because you're going to need that drawing. And if you look at the drawing, you will see that it is in the shape of a square. So that is what we're going to do first. We're going to draw the square as it is here on the page, but we are going to start from the center where the S point is. So let's, for argument's sake, you want to create the S point here. I'm going to make that my S point over there, or you can make your S point wherever you feel is the center of your drawing page, which is the screen at the moment. So I need to have a starting point, so I'm going to go to geometry, and I'm going to go to the first prompt there, which is cross. Click on it. It will tell me to enter a point, and I'm going to just click, and that dotted line will appear there, which that is my center, which is S on your page. Now if you look at the dimensions of the entire block which you have there, in the entire machine component which you have there, you will find that the length and width is 80. So it's a perfect square. 30 plus 20 plus 30 gives you 80. So if I'm working from my center that way and this way and up and down, I'm going to have half of 80, which is 40. From here, measure that way. From here, measure that way, up and down. So I'm going to go back to my geometry, click on it, and scroll down to parallel lines. Click on parallel lines. There will be a question, yes or no, whether you want it to be dimensions or do you want to estimate. If you want a dimension, you're going to click yes. And then I am simply going to click this side of the line, of this line, if I want a parallel line to be here, and I'm going to click on this side if I want a parallel line to be here, and this side if I want a line to be vertically on this side. So let me show you. I'm going to click this side. Anywhere on that side of the line, it's going to ask me for a dimension, and I said it's going to be 40 away. I'm going to type in 40, which you see there, and I'm going to say yes. By clicking the right tick, it is a yes, or the green, it is a yes, and there is my 40 distance away. I'm going to do the exact same at the bottom, so I'm going to click this side of the line. The 40 is still in the memory bank over there, and I'm just going to say yes, the green tick, and there's my 40. And I go to my left of this line, click yes, because my 40 is still there, and to my right, and click Yes, there, and there I have my block. Now, just to give you a sort of an image, I'm going to go to my continuous line, this one here, which is the second one, and I'm going to click on that one, run right across. My cursor is now almost like a bird with a cross, but I don't want that one. I'm going to go to this second one over here, which is my box, and this box allows you to jump. So you can click anywhere with that point encompassed in the box, with that point, with the corner anywhere in the box. So I'm going to click on the box just once, and I have this line now that I can move. So I'm going to click in at my next point, click at my next point, and click here. Even though I'm not doing a straight line, it jumps. So there I have that. Now you still have the line connected to the cursor, so you have two ways. You can either spacebar that, or you can left click it and just click that specific thing over there, right, which is your green tick. Now for the purpose of this activity, I'm going to zoom in on my screen just to show you clearly of what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to my keyboard and I'm going to just keep my cursor in the center here and press on my keyboard once. And there I am magnifying this drawing here to show you some detail. You can work as is. You don't have to magnify it, but if you want to, just keep it in the center and click once on the M button. The more you click, the bigger it becomes. If you want to demagnify it, you have to click on the D button. So I'm going to keep it there and click once on the D button of your keyboard to decrease it. Now I'm going to go back, and there's my M. So now there is a frame here inside that I have, which is basically 10 millimeters of thickness. So I'm going to go back to my geometry, parallel lines, and I'm going to say yes because I want to use a dimension. It is 10 on the inside, so I'm going to click there on the inside of that line. It's 40 in the memory bank. I'm going to change it to 10, and I'm going to say yes. And there my line has appeared. I'm going to go to my bottom, click on this side. It's still in the bank here on top, and I'm going to click right, and I'm going to click on my left, and there I have that. So I'm going to go back here to my chain one, click there, and I'm going to draw a box on the inside of my square which I have there. So these thin lines are all faint lines which I have. There my cursor is connected to my line. This time use your spacebar, one click on the spacebar, and there it detaches. I'm going to create my openings here, which I have here centers on the four sides, and you will find that from this point here it goes in by 30, in by 30, in by 30, in by 30. So once again I go back to my geometry, I go parallel lines again, yes, by measurement, and from this side it goes in 30, so I'm going to click this side, and I'm going to change that to 30, and I'm going to click yes, and there is one opening. I'm going to go to the other side, here, click again, there's my 30 opening, and then I'm going to go to the top, click here, there's my opening created, and I'll go to the bottom, click there, and my openings have all been created now. I would like to put them in, so I'm going to go to this one over here, which is just a straight line, and I'm going to click in that space here and stretch it across. Can you see now the line is not straight, but I can click and it jumps to a straight line. Once again, I can do all of these things by just clicking, dragging, click, click, drag, click, click, drag, click. And remember, you don't even have to straighten the line because the cursor jumps, creating a straight line. And there I've created my openings. Now, later on we're going to remove this. So I'm going to go and do my center crossings here. So I'm going to go to geometry again. This time I'm going to go to slope line. Click on slope. And then I'm going to click in the center right there. It's going to ask me for the slope. I know for a fact that these are all at 45-degree angles. So I'm going to type in here 45 and I'm going to click. And the 45 will go that way in the center there. And I'm going to go back there and click in the center again. But this time I'm going to say minus 45. Which goes the opposite direction. And click, and there I have my 45. Now that's my centers of my drawing, which are the diagonals. I know that they are bars, which would be 10 millimeters in thickness. So if that's my center, I'm going to go 5 to this side and 5 to this side. So to create that, I'm going to go back to geometry, parallel lines, yes by measurement. This side of my line, I'm going to have 5 millimeters. I'm going to change that to 5. Click yes. There's my 5 to that side, and I'm going to click on this side. So yes, 5. There I've created my bar. I'm going to go here. 5 on that side. Still in the bank. And 5 on this side. And there I've created my bar. Now I can go to my chain line. And click on there. And then from here I'm going to draw a line to my center there. Click. And to that point over there, click. Now, I want to detach. Detach. Go back there. Click here. To my center. Click. And click in that corner. Detach. I go back there. I go back there and I click in the center and on that corner over there. I use my space bar to disconnect. I click again in this corner there, in the middle, and I click on that corner again, and now I can detach. So I've created my entire drawing as it is here. I just need to remove all these parts here and these parts that you see there. Now I can leave them like that and just highlight it a little bit more so that it stands out. And then these would serve as my construction lines. How do I do that? I now go to settings and scroll down to line default. Click on line default. There's a 0 in the continuous line section. I highlight it and I change it to number 1. So I click yes. And now I go to my chain line again. Click on my chain line and I can start highlighting this. Clicking there. Click. Click. Click every time. I'm going to go right around till there. And I only highlight what needs to be the actual drawing. So you can follow it clearly how I do the highlighting. Once you have completed the drawing like that, it stands out nice and clear. You can even leave these lines in here as construction lines, but just to show you, if you want to remove these lines here, you can go to modify, go right down to cut and rub, click on cut and rub. It's going to ask you whether you want to cut at a single point or at 2 places. You are going to say no. And you are going to click at 2 points So you click the line you want to, on the line you want to cut. So I'm going to click on the line I want to cut. And where do I want to cut it? I want to cut it here and I want to cut it there. So I'm going to click in that space there and in this space over here. And the line will disappear. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to click the line that I want to cut. I click on the line. That little cross will stay there. And I want to cut it here. And I want to cut it there. And that line removes. So I'm going to remove all my extra lines here, which I don't want to have part of my drawing. Now that you've completed this drawing, I just want to put in some center lines here in the middle. So I'm going to drop down to that drop list here, and I'm going to go to center line 2. So there's my center line 2, and I'm going to go to that line there, and I'm going to start outside, click, draw right through the middle and just slightly outside, click there, there's the center line. And I'm going to do the exact same thing from here, drawing a line through the center and finishing outside of my drawing. Center lines are very important. To deactivate this yellow, I'm going to spacebar that, and now everything related to my cursor has been detached. I don't want my center line to be that thick, so I'm going to double click on it. It will give me this line style box. I'm going to change that to 0, and I'm going to say OK, and there I change that. I'm going to double click on that line. It gives me this box. Change that to 0 and click OK, and there I have my center lines. Then you will have to just go down and fill in some details here. So I'm going to just scroll across as to what I want to. So I'm just going to go down here, and I'm going to go to my A there, which is my icon for text, and I'm going to click here, and it's going to give me a text box. I'm going to change that immediately to 20, and which is my text height, and I'm going to type in my name here in capital letters, of course, and my surname like that there. And then I'm going to say, okay, it's still attached to my text, and I'm going to space bar that so that my cursor looks like that. Clicked on there, and now I can hold and just move it where I want it to be in the middle. Click anywhere. So you can use the text button to the text icon to place text anywhere on this drawing. Maybe you want to write down the scale, or maybe you want to write down the name of the drawing. You can do that. So I'm just going to demagnify. I'm going to click no and then demagnify, and I'm going to scroll up like that so I have everything in my frame. I'm even going to make it a little bit smaller, because now I can actually take my cursor and keep it on the pink line there. Hold down the button on your mouse and just highlight everything in that frame of the pink line like that. It turns to a certain shade, and then I'm going to go to where it says, and I'm just going to move this so that you can see, to edit, and I'm going to copy that And I'm going to go to my Word document, which is my assignment. Click on it, it will open. There's my drawing. And I can easily just incorporate it into my assignment. There I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. And there my drawing will be. If I want to enlarge it slightly, I can just stretch it with my handles which I have on the side here. So that will be your drawing and that will be marked. I hope you will enjoy this activity and have lots of fun with it and see how this sort of activity can be implemented into our engineering, graphics and design.